Summoner's Rift, you and I, Sochan, Solari, audience production, G2 Hell versus QLASH in the potentially end of Grand Finals of our Pathfinders 2023. Solari, I still am trying to process that draft.
Honestly, yes, there is a lot to process, and I'm kind of, on the same place as you are. But let's see what we are working with. I love how Clash are going in with a very high risk, high reward situation, because their cards are not really easy to play, but if they play them correctly, boy oh boy, this is going to be so satisfying to watch. If you are rooting for Clash Midnight, if you are part of Clash Midnight, this is going to be just a nice view overall for G2. The situation is a little bit easier. They just have so many safety cards, right? Like, if anything goes wrong in the early game, you have a lot of scaling on your jungler, on your AD carry. You can protect them with a lot of shielding. You should have a lot of damage in the late game as well. So, it's overall, whatever is happening in this game, if we're not too far behind, we should be able to drag it out.
There is a protection ward there from the side of Clash onto the red buff side of the jungle. They're looking to be a little more joined around this buff, potentially just lashing out for the Sejuani. You have a engage potentially coming here in the bot lane for Columbia and Cultist as they go into the bush. No vision. We'll see if this is going to come out to anything. It's just regular positioning, no cheese potential. To be fair, you could expect anything from Countess, so I was just being careful.
Nothing to see here. Anybody, just, keep going, keep doing whatever you have been doing up until this moment. Oh, we're looking at the top lane. Can we talk about top lane for a second? Because we were hyping up this Yasuo full sun so much for so many various reasons. We haven't really talked about the matchup itself, which is actually a very ingenious one. You don't really think immediately about Yasuo when you think about things that stand very well against Gna, but he is fine. He is really fine standing against Yasuo, and he doesn't care if it is the small Gna or the mega Gna. He is going to have damage eventually to kill him ideally, but even before that, on the laning phase, Yasuo is fine because he's nice. Look at that, he just doesn't care. He goes in with the damage, he denies little poor Gna his E, and he goes back, he doesn't care.
Disgusting, hate the champion, awful, absolutely despise it. You guys talk about Teemo, I hate Yasuo, I think that's my vibe, that's my clan, and it's exactly as you were saying. I think the Yasuo is going to even zone it out because of the mobility through the minions.
Exactly.
And speaking of zoning it out, Cultist is going to go very deep on this one. But she knows the weapons that she has, it's going to be burned down to a crisp, though, by Cosmic, as she has the backup from Kiana. And it's actually a very positive outcome for Clash themselves, as you have a flash forward from Kiana, falling down on health. And from a positive outcome, it became a little bit of an overextend.
I was so scared with this flash from Kiana. This girl has no fear in her eyes when she goes all in onto Cultist. She is bloodthirsty, and I admire that a lot. They really want to kill on Cultist. They really want to shut her down, and this is totally understandable, because if you allow Cultist to get to her 3 items, this is a game over immediately. Just that's all good. GG, go next. We're not winning this one against a 3-item Aphelios anymore.
And we have Sheena here on the bottom side of the jungle, taking down a Scuttle Crab, really not going to cross any paths with the Sejuani. Delicate on the other half of the map, getting some pressure on the top lane, potentially trying to get a setup for the Yasuo. As Sheena is doing the same here, maybe, as we have seen, Sheena really going for so aggressive dives in the early stages that it could have even been an in-between towers dive, but this was not. It was just a deep ward placement, and that's something that G2 has put around the map pretty well. Delicate, though, still in a good position, haven't been spotted. Lysia doesn't seem to be aware of their presence, just a little bit, because they're scared of the damage that Yasuo can output, just trying to control the wave, and Delicate is most likely going to recall.
I believe that the passive from Sejuani gives her away even if she's standing in the bush. It's something I haven't checked myself, but I have heard from people that it kind of ruins the gameplay on Sejuani. I would need somebody to confirm or to deny that for me. But either way, even without that, Sheena was checking out the enemy jungle. She got the water. They realized that Lysia was nowhere to be seen, which means that Lysia knows with her spider sense that she needs to step back, to step away a little bit, make sure she's not going to be caught by these devastating combinations and Yasuo.
Precisely, and it's that control that we have seen from G2, knowing where the enemy is, just getting so much vision into deep jungle that you don't even need to see the champion, you can just see where he is not. So you don't see a Graves, you go in, and that's what they're doing here in a bot lane. You're going to go in if you are Qiyana, getting that hook, but what is the damage from Aphelios? Is this even true? Is this even possible? Excuse me, click on him, 9 HP for this Nautilus as G2 almost takes down this bot lane for Clash. Delicate is around. That could be something happening, but they surely and safely retreat to safety.
The lowest I saw was 6 HP on that Nautilus. Qiyana
6? Oh my god.
Somehow miraculously surviving. By the way, that's such a pretty skin for surfing. I just noticed Tifa is bringing the style onto the mid lane today, apparently. But Qiyana somehow survived, and this is very important because it means there is still no first blood for either of the teams. They still can fight for this gold, and also we have a really much slower tempo compared to what we've seen before. Because yes, there is aggression coming from both of the teams. Sheena is already in the enemy jungle quite many times, but they're not really going for super over-aggressive picks, right? Everybody knows that this game will really start shining when they come to the later stages, especially for G2. They don't really need to force anything too much. They can wait for Clash to go over-aggressive for them, to lose their manners a little bit for a second, and to have to pay for it dearly.
I think one thing that I'm trying to read here into a very deep stage, I noticed Sheena going to the Krugs, throwing in the Q, and then immediately heading to the Drake. I think that was a case of trying to check if the Krugs had been taken, if there was a potential Sejuani in the Drake herself after having stolen the jungle from the blue side. So after she notices there's nothing there, she goes straight into the pit, takes this one down, is gonna dash her way back, and once again, clean G2, getting every objective from the get-go. But teamfight is all about Clash, and they have the backup here. It hasn't really gone into the scene side of things. I don't know if they have been spotted, but they're going to recall, potentially have been. So, Solari, is there anything you want to see from Clash? Because so far, G2 is just playing exactly the same book.
Yes, 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 there is one thing that I want to see from them. Maybe not right now, because Sheena is on the bot lane. It looks a little bit scary for the bot lane Flash. Right now, they don't have level 6s on anybody, but no, Sheena is fine. Sheena is away. I want to see top lane, actually. I want to see Clash playing around their top lane. There is Yasuo there. Sana is already level 7. She is really heavily out-farming Lysia, which is, again, something you would expect from Yasuo on the top lane. I want to see... Oh my god, she's going in! She's not waiting for anybody with an ultimate onto Lysia. Under the turrets again, you know, a little bit of shot there. Not enough damage just yet. Only has the upgraded boots and the longsword, but this was a very bold statement.
I think it's a very good statement because you are pressuring here under the turrets to show that you have the pressure on the top side while your jungler is invading close to that blue buff. Carter's dealing damage here on the bot lane. You're going to have to use the anchor to go away if you are Qiyana back to safety. But look at the stance this girl has on the Aphelios. It's not always that you have the sniper unlocked, right? And she's still positioning as if she was a Caitlyn, as if she had the range of a late game Senna. Always so far ahead to hit the enemies. And they feel the pressure. They feel the potential damage that can come along. On the other hand, Clash has seen that that was the case, and after a good invade in the jungle, are going to secure this help.
First of all, Kaltis does have a melee on her side, and melee kind of allows you to cosplay Senna on the board and pretend like you have a lot of attack range. At the same time, I am loving what is happening with Clash Midnight right now. It is not exactly taking kills, having any lanes sped up, but this is them taking the Herald. They, again, gave away the first pick, but it's just the Kendrick. You can allow to take it as long as you answer it with the first Herald of the game in your own pockets. And right now, we have it on the side of Delegate, in the pockets of Clash Midnight. Are they going to release it on the bot lane? It could be the case, actually. Why not give some gold to Cosmic? Make sure this Zeri gets to your items.
Ooh, and there he goes. Delicate has spotted on the wall there. Very nicely put. They're going to have the ulti from Nautilus as well. They flash forward and hit the wall. No, Qiyana is going to be a comeback for first blood on Countess because she has already unlocked that level 6. And Core is going to hit this Ahri. Lillian trying to escape maybe some damage onto Colombo Blow, but they really dodge it well. And this turned into a incredible turnaround for G2, while Clash were the ones to initiate the fight. They're gonna go over the wall. Delicate, you gotta be careful.
I really need to see the replay because I'm not sure how exactly Cosmic went down. I was looking at her health bar and like, you know, it's there, it's not there. Where has it gone? It's not there anymore. She's dead. It's the first blood. I'm not sure how exactly it happened, but it did happen, and that is what matters. That is a very nice dodge from Lizzie right here on the top lane. 10th minute in the game, we have the Unleashed teleports available. We are going to go into the second Drake of the game very soon. We are at 2-0. What else do we need to look at right now, Self? Oh, we need to look at the replay.
Woo! It's all yours, Solari. It's all yours.
Oh my god, Delegate is going in. They think they have the numbers advantage. The problem is, yes, Liliana is coming in, but Tifa is coming in as well. Okay, yes, it was. I still don't know what exactly killed her. It looks like the ultimate from Sheena was coming in, but the moment this Zeri is down, the moment these health bars of G2 are so low, they need to disengage immediately. Liliana is just on the wrong side of the map. Unfortunately, with this mana, she's not going to be able to get out anymore.
I think it was the combination of the collateral damage from Sheena plus the OT from Caltis. That was
possibly,
the combo. And considering that the call must have been Cosmic, let's go over the wall, just as Kiana was trying to do. But then they hit the wall themselves. We're going to see here top lane getting very spicy as Lizzie is going to be going down. The help from Tifa is there, but not quite fast enough. So it's going to be a wonderful one on both top laners here. Well, we had a presence of 3 players. Dodge from Lilian, dodge from Sheena. They're both healthy. Tower is still standing. It was a good 1-for-1 if I'm Clash.
It was also an ultimate for an ultimate between Lilian and Sheena. Both of them are going to come back pretty much at the same time and relatively quickly, so it's not too big of a deal, but you know, it's still some nice exchange to have between each other. One thing I want to notice is that Tifa is not going with a full support build. She is going with more of an AP damage dealer build, which is lovely, and I really wonder if Rila is going to appear in her inventory at some point in the game, or maybe Sana. Are you going to stay alive? They're fighting with the Delegate right now. 3 members of G2 are here on the mid lane. Really dangerous, but not escalating any further.
Yeah, really gotta be careful because there's the Drake has already spawned. Cloud, so it's not going to be on the table, but this buff is most potentially going to go for G2 Hell. Do we have the presence from the rest of Clash gathering around there? They don't really look to be doing much about it. No pings coming out from the red side, so it most likely going to go for G2 as bot lane has rejoined here with Sheena. Damage is going down. Smite secures it. Dragon has been slain by G2 Hell.
I need to see. Oh my god, not Infernal Soul again. Are you kidding me? G2. Who have you paid to have 2 Infernal Souls in a row in these 2 games? Because this is unfair. Stop rolling your dices. I need new ones from you.
It's called RNGesus.
Yeah.
They pray for RNGesus. That's the one.
Apparently their prayers have been heard, Soulchan, because this is exceptionally lucky for them. This also could be at the beginning of a nice story for Clash Midnight. I need to see them going for those drakes. I need to see them fighting for them, being in the pit, having vision control around it, just being there the first ones to secure the train for themselves. They already gave away 2 dragons. Those 2 drakes will not mean absolutely anything for G2 if Clash Midnight start taking every single dragon from now on. These 2 dragons really don't bring much individually. 4 Infernal Dragons on top of each other are going to bring a massive boost to the damage output of Clash that is going to scale up with them, and they really will need this scaling boost if they want to get a late game scenario against the G2.
As G2, you have been betting on objectives, especially on the Drakes. There has been a couple of times where we have seen Clash or other teams that have faced G2 Hell taking the first Herald compared to G2 getting the first 2, maybe 3 Drakes. And what I mean by that is that when you're betting on the Drakes, you're betting on something like you said, Solari, trying to get a good Drake out of it. You have such a good communication from G2 at this moment. No ward whatsoever. Still, Lizzie knows of the presence of these players here. Sheena might be in a little bit of a trouble. There's a ward ahead. They have been spotted. There's 2 wards. Gonna go over the wall on this one. Blast Cone dodges this charm and the Q. So no damage really dealt here by Lilian, but nerves are steel from Sheena, I would say.
Yes, absolutely. But you know what else the presence of Clash Midnight right here, right now means? It is that they can go for the next Herald. If they take 2 Heralds in this game, this is going to be a really nice change compared to what we saw from them in the previous game. Oh my god, Delicate is going in with an ultimate.
They are going. The Glacial Prison hits, but you don't have a follow-up. Maybe this is the one thing that J Real mentioned. You want to go full on conversed match, a full-on conversed play. That hasn't been happening so far, given there's just 1 kill on the board for Clash. But it's a very low on kills match as well, 3 for G2 compared to that one. We are going for this top off where we have the rest of G2 controlling on top of the Scuttle Crab vision. Is that going to be a massive mistake? We will see. You have Delicate coming around. You have slowed them down. It's a secured Herald for G2.
This is so unfortunate for Clash Midnight right now. They have already lost 3 major objectives in this game. They cannot afford to lose anymore. There's not going to be any more, to be fair. Sheena going in again, just scaring them away from the turret, making sure that the outer turret in the mid lane still stands, because this is so far the biggest achievement that Clash Midnight have been able to take on the map. This outer turret being heard. If only Clash Midnight managed to take the first break of the game and open up this turret, this is going to be massive for them, especially when it comes to fighting for the next Drakes.
Especially because when we have a look at the gold differential, Solari, it's not that big. So I totally agree with you. The extra gold from the first break would make a very good difference for Clash, especially when you have Zeri there alone in the mid lane. So the extra gold for her would be absolutely massive. She's still grinding towards that first item, but potentially going to be that Trinity. On the side of Aphelios, you have the Storm Razor Cole already finished too. It's a little different of a setup in regards to building.
Sofchan, we finally are free from the Everfrost jail on Ari. Lilian is going with the Lunan Steadfast. I love it. And Delicate is in. Oh my god, are they going for a Tower Up? Yes, they are going for it. Tower Up, Lydian is jumping around with the ultimate. And Koi is not going to hit anybody.
Why
it's
is
a
that
kill for Lydian, and she lives. 40 HP, and she lives.
Oh, she does live. She has the refillable and she is refilling. Give it on, give me the drinks. It's on the house. Everyone is gonna have a glass because Clash coming in really clutch on that play. Instead in the mid lane, which is something that we really want to see for Clash, is trade backs. You had a good call for Clash in the bot lane, but then G2 takes down that first break you had been mentioning. So, they go in. Okay, they hit it. Oh, excuse me! What?
Oh,
they tried to just snipe Cosmic away, just like on that fight in the river, Solari.
Exactly, I'm having the flashbacks from that very fight, but it is 8 seconds before the break. This is very good time to have such a fight on the side of G2. Look at that, there is no ultimate available for Delicate. Cosmic really needs to recall, she cannot really fight anymore, which means, unfortunately, I want to scream about it. Clash Midnight are giving away another dragon for G2. They are them putting G2 hell on the soul point, on an infernal goddammit soul point. You cannot afford to do it, Clash. Come on, dragons.
Really hard. Really hard, Solari, really hard. Because I think that's one thing the Clash has been doing that they need to be very mindful about. Well, let's leave that to another moment. While we have Clash actually going for a very nicely done dive onto the mid lane on Tifa, getting taken down by Ari. So Lilian is going to feel very happy about that.
Lilian is very happy, and Lilian is proving to us that there is a reason why she's going into this very aggressive, very damage-oriented build. She wants to be a single target eliminating machine, and so far she has been pretty successful in doing exactly that. And look at what Clash Midnight are doing on the map. They are actually going onto the enemy with a very nice ultimate coming in from Sejuani. It's going to be Sheena down due to hell. What are you going to do about that now?
I think that has been a constant, right? You see Sheena, you kill her. That's what Clash has been doing. You see Sheena, cooldowns are not there anymore. No cooldowns. All the ultis are down, but Cosmic might be taking this tower down as well as they try to go for a backline. Go encore hit, so he's going to keep them healthy for a little bit longer, but Milio goes down first. Now, Clash, you better run for it. Look at Countess. She's the front line. She doesn't need anything else. So Clash really has to run for it and keep that lead to their name, because they are on the lead in spite of 3 Drakes behind. They are 2k gold ahead. Lysia, though, that's what we said about G2. They really get the conversion and trade things when something happens.
Maybe it's going to be a trade right now, because Lysia is going to go into the smoke nut form very soon. Yasuo's already here, going to be knocked away, but Delicate is here. Here comes the little guy. It's going to be stunned in the place, has to flash away, but here comes the teleport. Sheena is here as well. It's going to be a big fight. Potentially Sana needs to get back because she doesn't see anything. And yes, the de-escalation of the situation on the top lane has been really successful. Nobody dies today.
Lovely reversion of a gank there. Emilio might be in a bad position, and you have Cultist in the bad position instead. They get the ulti, but it's not going to hit anyone. Oh my god, she's counting. She was counting like crazy. But then all of a sudden, you're in the middle of 4 people, including Lilian. And Sana is going to take them down, potentially take Sheena as well. They're going to the wrong side of the map when you don't have Tifa to help you. Sheena, no! And it's going to be yet another kill for Clash, turning this game on its head. 8 kills for 3 on the hands of Clash.
They're going for a Baron. It just spawned. Poor Baron. It was so young, so naive. It hasn't seen really the world yet, but it's going to go down regardless because look at Clash Midnight. All of them, 5 men strong, are going to be out the pit very soon. They still have the Atlas ultimate and they're going back in. They're going on to Lisa. They're going on to Tifa. Tifa has the Encore available, but she has to flash away. She will not be able to use it right now, but at least it is the Baron that is going to stay alive for a little while longer.
Whew. That was a hell of a disengage. Going in super bold, Tifa. Going in super bold. Like, you really delayed that Baron, which is the best part for G2 on that one. You asked at one point, Solari, G2, what do you do now? And that was a good callback. I really like it because Clash could have easily taken that buff if it wasn't for the disruption from Tifa. And that works out pretty well for them. They don't have a flash, so they have to keep that in mind. At the same time, it's still a composition with 2 supports, so you still have a little bit of sustainability on your hand.
If Clash have taken this Baron, it would have been such a nice push for them. Look at the mid lane. They only have the base turret available on the side of G2 on the mid lane. It would have been so nice for Clash. They could have used it as a snowballing starting point for them. But right now, they really need to focus on the Drake. It's going to be up in slightly more fun. I mean, 3 dragons already in the pocket of G2 Hell. Clash Midnight really must be the first ones in the pit at this very moment. They need to put in the vision. They need to establish this control around the pit. They need to make sure they're going to be able to fight G2 Hell when they decide to go for this Drake. Unless G2 Hell are going to sense it out, decide to drop it, and go in exchange for a Baron.
Solari, we're definitely on the same wavelength. It is a must to get their soul away from G2. But I agree with you, it's a possibility that G2 is just going to give that away to get the Baron themselves. Liliana's in the bot lane. She doesn't have TP, which is highly valuable information for G2, hence why they got that lovely kill onto Sana in the top lane. They're going to convert here for the Baron, as we have mentioned, and it could go really well for them. They have vision on the river, vision on the pit, and behind it as well. Now you're going to have Kiana as the front line alongside Delicate. She's trying to go in, but the zoning from Tifa is very effective. Baron going down 50% of health. You're trying to get some way to go in, and there you have it. You're going to go on Colombo, but then you clear it out because you are Emilio. It's going to be damage threading away because Cultist now is on her power spike. She's going on for the kill. She ultis, and it has to be a flash away for Cosmic herself. You're going to have a TP back. It's going to be Lilian. No, actually, it's going to be Sana as the Yasuo, getting the position for Clash into this Drake. This could be the deny and the turnaround that Clash needs.
There was some very important moments that happened in this fight between Clash Midnight and G2 Hell. By the way, G2 Hell, no way you're going to go back for a Baron. Clash Midnight have to understand it. Ari's area already there. Senna can do the Drake alone. Yes, it's going to be the soul denied for now. The dragon is still alive, but the health bar is going down. Lydia and Cosmic are around. Lydia is going in with the ultimate. Columbo is almost dead. Lizzie is coming back with the teleport. Lilian, are you sure you want to go like that? There, no, you're not. It's a shutdown for Cultist. Can anybody continue the fighting? The healing is coming in from Columbo. Bull Delicate is really in a top position right now. Needs to try to get away the damage from Aphelios is coming in. The stun is coming in, and Tifa is coming in as well. She's going to slay Delicate right on the spot. Lizzie is jumping around. She's going to have her Magna form really soon, and Cosmic is really in a tough spot. Needs to just jump over the wall. But this means that there is no Baron possibility for Clash Midnight. Will G2 Hell still have the health bar, still have the Sheena? Will they take it this time?
They have a TP coming on as well for Tifa, who's just respawned. They're going to have the 5 women squad on this Baron buff. Well, there's just an ADC, a support, and a dream. Cosmic. Kiana, can you even do something about it? TP's coming in as well. You have the Yasuo coming along. Lizzie going very low, and have Columbo Boy's going to go down. 2 kills and a core to get them away from the rest of the squad. And what Q? Take Cosmic down. Wouldn't expect that to be what happens with a Seraphine on a double support composition, but you're right, Solari, it's not a support Seraphine. She's building into Leandri's.
She is. She is dealing the damage. As you can see already, 3 kills are in her pockets. She is shielding, yes, but maybe could have been a little bit more shielding. But what matters right now is that Clash Midnight are finally in control of the game. A12, they are taking the Baron. Cultist is here. Oh my god, Cultist is going to be stunned on the spot. Is she going to be able to do anything? She's going to be able to kill this support. Though is she now is taking the kill in the end. A very tough situation. Delicate is taking the Baron Nashor. It is in the hands of Clash Midnight. Kenji to deny some Baron buffs for the enemy team. Cultist is around, doesn't have mana, is charmed by the charms from that Ari, but is not going to go any further.
I thought there was a moment where G2 could have stopped that. Because the way Cultist was counting, that was really frightening. Let's have a look at the replay. Yes, we love live replays. We saw that prism, that glacial prism onto Cultist, and I thought it was a dead ADC for sure. Then an instant flash out of it into getting the opponent down as well. It was beautiful, Solari. But the rest of the team from Clash said, we need to melt this objective, and so they did.
The guns were really good for Cultist in that fight, to be fair. She was getting her health back. She was staying alive for as long as was needed for her. But Clash Midnight, finally, we're seeing them being in control of the game. They have the gold, they have the Baron buff on the majority of the team at this very moment. They can push forward. They have Lyrian almost on the Rabadon's death cap. This is going to be a massive power spike for her. She has been popping off in this game. Some of us maybe kind of expected that Sanena was going to be the MVP in this game, the hyper carry, because of the setup for Yasuo, but no, Lilian is really popping off with this very aggressive build.
She is doing some work, Solari. They've taken down their top tier 1, and unfortunately they can't really go further with this push. They've spotted Seraphine in the bot lane, and we'll see what's going to be the decision for G2 and Clash this time, because Clash really getting on top of the game, and it has been for a while in regards to gold, not that much about Drakes. So what do you tell me is the go-to play for Clash to get things even more on board for them?
Get for the second Drake. Go have some very deep vision control into the jungle of G2 Hell. Make sure they're not going to be able to go onto you unspotted or just steal away the Drake away from you. It's going to be the second Infernal Drake for Clash Midnight if they go for it, on top of this soul being denied for G2. And again, stacking up these dragons and getting to this soul will put Clash Midnight in a very good spot coming into this late game. That was such a good flash from T for the prediction.
Fast reactions from Tifa, gets away from the glacial prison, but it's going to be a jungle ahead that doesn't have a big massive crowd control for Clash as they're pushing into this one. Big cannon minions buffed up are going to deal so much damage alongside Cosmic. It's potentially going to be an engage here or a conversion for the mid lane. Try to split even more, but as you have it, Galizia in the top lane trying to divert some attention. As you said as well, Solari, just 30 seconds, just a little bit more for the next Drake, and Clash really needs this one. Every Drake thus far, if they don't get it, it's definitely heading into a tough spot for them.
What is really good for Clash Midnight right now is that they rotated Sana to the top lane. She was able to stop any further push from Lisa, even though Lisa still got this inner turret on the top lane in her hands. But Sana still has the teleport available. She doesn't even need it, but if she decided to stay on the top lane for a little bit longer, she could join the team, and they really need all 5 women at the pit at this very moment, because 5 seconds and the Drake is going to spawn. Clash Midnight must be the ones to take it away. At the same time, G2 Hell are actually the ones who can afford to give this dragon away. It's only going to be the second one for Clash Midnight. Clash are much stronger than them at this very moment. Find some other things to do on the map. Go through the mid lane, go through the top lane, push the lanes even further, continue using the fact that Lysia is such an excellent split pusher.
I think there's one thing about what you said there that is so crucial. So we know that G2 can give this Drake, but exactly as you said, they get to guess something on the other side of the map. Clear out the jungle, push in the waves. You've already said, I'm not going to repeat you. But the thing is that G2 has to be very aware of how much they can give in, because we are starting to get into that soul point for Clash as well, and they are building 1, 2, potentially 3 Infernals, plus a soul if they do get there. So that is incredibly massive damage that has to be denied by G2. So if there is one point where you said, okay, we can give this Drake, that's enough. That's about it. Don't do it anymore, because it would be too much of a stall, it would be too much of a stretch, and it would just get Clash closer and closer to this game 3.
Ideally, G2 Hell need to go and fight for the next dragon. But there's also going to be a Baron in less than a minute and a half from now on spawning. They already have 3 item Pabu Spike on Cultist, which means they are pretty much ready to go in for a fight. There is even a stopwatch available for Cultist. They really want to have this fight as soon as possible. The issue for them is that Lilian is also very damn ready to pick up this fight, and she'll be very happy to show them off her newest thing that she just bought recently, her little hat, the red hat that she can put on her head and be very happy about the damage she gets from it.
Yeah, it's like a sorting hat. It says, you can finish off any ADC. That's what it says. And you gotta be careful if you're Countess, because Lilian is gonna do so much damage right now. At the same time, you have 2 supports on your side. The problem would be if Clash reads very well the fight and Lysia doesn't have Mega Nut, that could be a moment of trouble for G2 in a team fight.
Oh, Lilian actually is ready to show us off her little hat, but maybe Sheena and Tifa want to stop her from going any further. She needs to, jump away. Lizzie is around the corner, only has a little Gnat form. It is a little bit risky, but what is important is that Clash Midnight are here. They have a very nice position going into the Baron that is going to spawn very soon. Not that they're going to start it necessarily immediately, but with how quickly they're pushing through the lanes, with them having Sana on the bot lane with the teleport available for her, this is really the moment for Clash Midnight to shine.
Yeah, Yasuo there getting down the pressure, which is something that we saw from G2 in the previous game, not doing the same. And it's going to be countered by Sana as well. As we go into a quick technical break. And Solari, I am so excited about this because it really screams Grand Finals, doesn't it?
It does. Finally, we're having maybe even this series of 3 games in the best of 3, because Clash Midnight are feeling really strong at this very moment. If they don't allow the game to drag for too long, right now they are at their prime form. Ari has so many items, she has so much damage. The Rabadon's death cap has been buffed in patch 13.10. She's getting even more additional damage from this little item. It's pretty big one, to be honest. Everyone is on the support. I am lacking a little bit of Zeri in the team fights, to be honest. I'm lacking a little bit of that damage. She was falling behind compared to Aphelios in terms of the items and in terms of the gold, but I'm really looking forward to the upcoming fight because it has to happen sooner or later, right? Like, the tension definitely is there in the air.
Yes, and unfortunately for Clash, and in regards to Cosmic in particular, we have seen that when she shows up, there is Goddess and Grey's Sheena just exploding her. You can't really see the HP bar going down. It's just Zeri on the ground. And we want that to change for Clash, right? So they can get the shot at this game 3. And they are building a really good, consistent path for it.
They absolutely are. They have a very nice gold lead. They are paying a lot of attention for the objectives. They are moving around the map very freely. They are in control of all the lanes pretty much. They have pushed them in so nicely. There is a lot of effort, to be honest, coming in from Lysia to stop this push and to turn it around. She's constantly on the side lanes, split pushing like a mad woman she is. But let's see if the fight is going to start anywhere soon.
Anywhere soon, as we direct ourselves into Baron territory. And so far, domination from G2. Priority there over Vision. Nothing really for Clash, but they're standing in the shadows. Delicate has their ward there in the river. And to be fair, G2 has to be a little careful because we know that those outer turrets are gone on the mid and bottom side, and that could be easily exploited by the Yasuo, who still has that TP open.
Yasuo is going to be such a menace for G2 Health right now because he can push really quickly, but it looks like they want to start a fight, don't they?
They definitely do. Shin is going in the front line, and even Kiana tries to get away, not going to use the anchor as an engage, but as in disengage. And this time around, G2 starts this match. They're going to get the damage down onto the Baron, but Liliana is just around the corner. They didn't have vision on her. You're going to go for the Glacial Prison. He hits the Colombo support for G2, and alongside with the Yasuo, you're going to take down Countess as your first main objective, and you do so successfully. Milio, Seraphine, it's a almost ace for the team of Clash, as they say, we don't really need the Baron. We're ending this game right here and now.
3 game series. We're going to have a final finally Soft-chan, I am extremely happy. Maybe it's even going to be the start of a beautiful story of a very sweep of Clash Midnight in this grand final Pathfinders. But what matters for them right now is that they are taking this game. They're also taking Sheena as a dessert, or maybe not, or maybe yes. I know, Sheena, you can leave, you know. We remember the friendship, remember all the good times. You can leave, but your Nexus cannot.
I love nobody was attacking her anymore.
Yeah.
I love that. It's kind of a power move because I don't really need to attack you because, you know,